Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. A long time ago, in a land called the 80s, I was working for a company that produced radio programs. We syndicated them to stations all over the country. And one of the projects I was lucky enough to work on was a Pete Townsend special featuring the music of The Who with an exclusive interview with Pete Townsend. He was a fascinating and deeply religious man. At the time, he was working as an editor at the publishing house Faber Faber. It was the book publishing company that also published his book Horse's Neck. Anyway, when he was asked about the single Who Are You?, a progressive rock and roll song, you probably know it, he said it was actually written about God. Imagine looking up to the sky and asking, "Who are you?" That story has stuck with me all these years. Today's show is for anyone who has ever asked the question, who am I? Who are you? And what am I doing here? Helen P. Slater is someone who did that very same thing, and she got an answer. Well, sort of.
I called out one night, "Please help me," because I was feeling so helpless. One of my guides appeared to me and said his name was Jeremiah, and he could help. And then a whole host of guides turned up, and I was told I was seeing them on the astral plane, and that I had extrasensory perception abilities. And they said, "We can take you on a healing journey because the reason you're actually sick is because of karma and trauma." So I said, okay, I'd like to go on this journey.
All right, I'm going to jump in here because that was a lot. Her story is nothing short of fascinating and is all detailed very clearly in her book, The Story of My Soul. But to get the most out of this podcast, you need to believe that anything is possible, that there is a world outside of this one, and that we all have spirit guides, and they all have a boss, and he is the man we call God.
There is actually a reality behind the normal reality that we see. And when you have extrasensory perception, which we all do have, we can see into the astral plane, and we can see things that we might not otherwise see.
How cool is that? Helen was at a very low point in her life, and like many of us do, she looked to God for help.
I got sick with chronic fatigue syndrome, and I had to move house. I had to use my savings to live off. I couldn't work. And then I met my guides.
She was not only helped, but she was told that she had within her the ability to help others.
They said to me, "You'll go on a long journey because then you'll know each step of the healing journey and you'll be able to heal other people quickly." And they said, "You have special gifts to me that you can heal people's worries and anxieties from the root causes." And I said, "I'd like to go on this journey." And so then they took me up in a meditation to a high white light space and said that I could ask questions of the Creator. And they call God the Creator because it's a very different, very loving, very caring energy in this high white light space. And so that's the start of the journey. And my guide Madeline said, "Please write it all down, and then other people can benefit from this journey to heal karma and trauma."
And if you're saying to yourself, hold on a second, Sam, you said she was sick with chronic fatigue. What is all this about karma and trauma? I'm glad you asked. And we will get to all of that in just a minute. But first, let Helen explain what it was like to be taken by her guides on a healing journey into the astral plane.
These beings on this platform in our universe, they were surrounded by stars, they were up in the universe, was very eerie and very stressful. Because I thought, I know something has happened, something very dangerous, and these people are telling me to heal it, basically. And so I followed and went to this star where there was a psychotic warrior and a beautiful being having a battle. And it was very eerie and very psychotic energy with this psychotic warrior. And I was told that to heal insanity was one of the things that I was asked to do because I developed mental health problems as well as suffering from chronic fatigue syndrome. I had bipolar. And I was told that this star was where it had begun for my family, and that the insanity had both come through the ancestral line as well as coming through the soul line, and that it needed healing. with my guides, we brought in water as the antidote to psychosis. And we brought in belief work because the psychotic warrior, when he was very young, was very damaged and hadn't connected to his mother. And so he had megalomania. He was attached to all creation and he thought he was God. And on this planet, this beautiful being came when he was older and said, no, look, I'm a spiritual being. I'm going to teach you spiritual meditations and about God. And the psychotic warrior killed him. I was absolutely devastated when I saw this. So this battle has gone down through the generations in my ancestry. And with my guides, we were able to heal it with water, with white light, with unconditional love, and with affirmations as well.
Have we overwhelmed you yet? This was just one of the many healing journeys that she took. Her guides not only healed her, but they taught her how to heal others, and this work transformed her life.
The whole process is about being able to heal others, both with people reading the books, because people might get their guides when they read the books and go on a healing journey similar to mine, or they may wish to call me up and have a healing. Either way is really fine.
Now, just to be clear, Helen is not a medical doctor or a holistic doctor. She is an intuitive healer, a gifted psychic, and a channel. She's also a writer and a singer, and someone who once looked to the sky for help and got a lot more than she could possibly imagine, especially when she was told to write about sexual healing.
I felt a bit awkward. I thought, but Jeremiah said to me, please write it, because there will be other women who've had trauma in their childhoods who want to know that a beautiful intercourse is possible and sexual healing. And it was very healing for me to write about it.
Her book is about a lot more than her healing journey. It's about the possibility of soul healing for all of us. It's about knowing divine love and laying down the burdens of this life and all other lives and knowing a new state of being. Helen says one of the best journeys she ever took was in writing this book.
Yes, very much. I was up at 3 a.m. sometimes typing away. It was just the most thrilling, exciting journey. And I felt like a sort of sleuth, a sort of detective, as I reeled back the years and went back and back and back. And I found a doppelganger who was very wounded and that he was influencing my life. The reason why I was in bad situations in my life and never felt comfortable and at home wasn't necessarily my parents, but was the doppelganger. I mean, it was incredible to find that and to heal him. It's been, I feel in my life now, so much lighter, so much more energy. My mental health is much, much better. My energy is much better. It was a privilege to go on this journey and an absolute wonderment. It really was.
Do I need to explain doppelganger to you? I'll just do it really quick. It's someone who looks just like you, but is biologically unrelated to you. If you've been traumatized in your life in any way, or you're looking for some answers to the things that you just can't explain, maybe this book will help you find those answers, or at least some comfort in knowing that this kind of healing is actually possible.
Yes, I would like anyone who has experienced trauma in this life, women especially, but also men. And I think that for a woman, a lot of the information in the book is quite hard to read because I've had a lot of male past lives. So healing the masculine was part of the book, which is why I think it's very useful for men as well. Because, of course, it's been men in control throughout history, really, up until now. And so to heal evil in the male side or viciousness, and we can do that with Arcturus healing. So the book is for anyone, but especially for a woman that's been traumatized in her life.
And if you'd like to delve deeper into Arcturus healing or any other kind of healing, I would suggest starting at thestoryofmysoul.com. There you can read an excerpt from any of her books. She's written 3 of them. And if you like, you can even send her an email for more information. As you heard earlier, she's open to chat with you about any of this stuff. We also put links to Amazon and Barnes & Noble in this show's description. And that will do it for this edition of Newsgram from webtalkradio.com.